Hello, this is Dan Terrence, and this used to be Embrace the Journey. But here we are, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, and it feels different. And COVID 19 has changed the way we work and the way we thought about the world. So I don't know if I'm really calling this 6 feet apart or if that's just a tag, a picture of two people not being able to give each other a hug or even a handshake. It looks like they're trying to do fist bumps that may be frowned upon. So keep your distance. Stay on your side of the computer. Here on St. Patrick's Day, can't go out for a green beer. Restaurants, bars are closed except for drive-up service. I'm not sure they're gonna give me a green beer and a drive-up, service. So curb service, I guess they're calling it. But I thought I would try something. Now you needed to buy the right provisions. You need to have a blender at home, a lighter beer, nice Pilsner, and some spinach, and you throw it into the blender, and you got yourself some green beer, and it's healthy. I haven't tried this yet, but if you do try it, let me know if it really did create a green beer and if that beer was edible, drinkable. What I really wanted to do today was just kind of say I'm beginning to get pissed. And it kind of feels like going through the five stages of grief. The first part is really denial. And I think when it was in China and other countries before really, coming to America, even when we had the first handful of doses here, it was because people were traveling. And it was denial. In fact, I went to Target about a week ago, and I did not buy TP. I said, don't need it. This is not a thing. It's kind of crazy. I think we even used that denial this Saturday. My son's birthday, he was turned 26. We had plans to go to a Chinese restaurant on Saturday, his favorite one, Jing's, down in the 3rd Ward. And I used denial to rationalize that it was still okay to go to the restaurant, and we did so. Our appointment was at 5 because he likes an early dinner, and we were really the only ones in the restaurant besides the workers, so it seemed almost as good as curb service, and that would probably be the last time we'll eat out for a while. But denial came in handy. In fact, I read where denial almost is our brain dosing the information to us. Because if we didn't have a certain amount of denial, we may go right into shock. And many people, probably happen to many. So think of denial as healthy if it's for a certain amount of time and you let some of it get through. But it kind of feeds anxiety, and that's not on the 5 stages here, but it feels like denial and anger, somewhere in there is anxiety. I think we'll all feel anger after this working from home thing gets to be a little old. Like by the end of the week, next week, we'll go, my God, is this the new reality? And that won't be fun for any of us. But anxiety in the stock market is measured by the VIX. They call this the fear index. This is a 6-month chart of the VIX. You can see how we were kind of a normal reading is somewhere under 20. I think the average over the last few years has been about 15. It's reached even single digits. But we hit 80. It hit 80, I believe, in like 2008, And it also, the only one time, and this VIX has been created back in 1985, and it was at the stock market um, drop Black Monday of October of 2000 of 1987. It spiked to over 100. But this is about as high of a fear index, at least as measured by the markets, as you can get. So we are in high fear territory. Then this weekend, when I was getting supplies and I saw someone carrying four, 4 packs of toilet paper through the store, that built my anxiety as well. And I went to the toilet paper aisle where there really wasn't any, and it said, there was a sign there. It said maximum 3, and I was like, I'm going to find that guy because he was over his max. So anxiety kind of hit for all of us. Why am I making this video? I think it is good for us to be able to talk, to be able to share this experience with others, even though we can't be together. So I guess I want to make a case that this is very unique. It's going to test our community, test our nation, test our world, and most of all, test ourselves of how we get through something like this. And in my optimistic glasses half full or more attitude, and this is really hard to do, but look at this time as a unique time where we have lots of learnings. Look at it, and I really didn't even want to put this slide in, but look at it as a gift. It seems very strange now at this point to be thinking in that term, but we need to come together to get through this, and we can't do that. We can't do this alone. And it's going to be a time where we'll have more time probably on our hands, a gift of time. And I know what you're saying. This guy is so full of crap. There are real issues here. There are people are going to be hurt. People will die of the virus. The rest of the world, slowing things down to nothing for a month or 2 months. We have never experienced anything like this. That's why we need people to get above the daily anxiety, the inner anger, and we have to look at this as an opportunity to get to know ourselves better, help others through this process, and help ourselves. It's times like this where we really get to the core and figure out what's really important to us. We get to know ourselves, we get to know our families, and we get to help other people. So in the end, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, when you're looking back at this time period that is going to be in all the history books in future generations, how are you going to be able to talk about this in your experience to those generations, to your family and friends, to yourself? So I really do believe that this is a really growing opportunity. Heck, Democrats and Republicans are working together. When do you think that was ever going to happen? So, call to action. As crazy as you think that is, and you probably, if you haven't turned me off yet, quick 3 things. One, speak to 3 people every day, at least 3 people. Do not do this alone or just with you and whoever's stuck in the same house with you. Talk to these 3 people. Call people, friends you may not have talked to for a year. Call your parents. Call your kids if they don't live with you. Call your neighbor, because that's powerful. We cannot be alone, even though we cannot get within 6 feet of each other. Number 2, it's going to be so easy to get lost in this and to do nothing but watch the news or what's happening to the stock market or thinking about how bad things are. So you need to write down 3 things you're going to do today. One of the things we're doing here is cleaning a light fixture. It's got like a glass, I don't know what you even call them, but they're kind of, it's a 1950, 1960 light fixture, very cool, and they're glass and you screw them in, and there's like 100 of them. And so it took me hours just to unscrew them, take them down so we could wash them. Now I have to screw them back in. But it's a project, and it's something I can cross off the list and feel like we got something accomplished. There's a lot of different things. Maybe it's work related, maybe it's home related, but do 3 things a day so you don't lose the day. And lastly, I think it's about being conscious, right? Do something for yourself. Read a book that you've been wanting to read. Take an online class. Something that's helping you develop with potentially, if you've got extra time because of this, instead of watching Netflix, perhaps read a chapter of a book, just not watch as much Netflix. So I know you think I'm crazy, but I wanted to get this out there, and I hope to make some more videos, more than the once every other week, because I think I'll have a bit of extra time, and I hope that this helps. Please, I'm not going to do emails out to every time I put one of these out, so subscribe, like this, send it to friends if you think it helps, and comment below. We're all in this together, and again, when we get to the other side of this, we should all be able to look back on this experience and say we're better for it. That's it. Thank you very much, and we love you. Take care.